yeah, why don't you start by introducing yourself, what teams you're involved with, and just a little bit about what you got going on in the hoops world.
All right. Well, my name is Burt. I'm one of the head coaches of Team Final, co-director of Team Final in the Nike EYBL Elite Youth Basketball League. I've been involved with Team Final for about 10 years now. Coached some of the best players in the country. Some of the best players have come through our program, like Michael Gilchrist, Deion Waiters, Lonnie Walker, Cam Reddish, Rondé Hollis Jefferson, Malachi Richardson, Dante DiVincenzo, Mikal Bridges. I can keep going on and on.
Oh, I feel like I want to keep going.
We've had a lot of guys come through our program. Tyreek Evans. So we had a lot of guys come through our program. We have a lot of guys in college now. And it's nothing better. It's like the NCAA championship of high school basketball, the Nike EYBL, and trying to vie for a championship at Peace Jam.
Yeah. That's crazy. I used to compare AAU to the NBA for kids.
Yeah.
It's completely evolved into, that of the sort.
Yeah, I also work like the Nike Elite Camps, Elite 100, which is some of the top 100 freshmen and sophomore across the country that come in. So I work that camp as well. And it's amazing seeing the younger talent when they're 9th and 10th graders as they mature and come up to be part of the elite and, go on. Some of them play in the NBA. Some of them go on to have great college careers and do all that other kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And one constant this year is that no matter what level you played at, there were changes implemented. So that's going to be our little intro to our topic today. Definitely a COVID-19 discussion about how you faced the pandemic, how you approached it as a program, what changes you made, and what you plan on doing moving forward, how it might have affected your program positively and negatively. So I'm really looking forward to hearing all about it, having not been in the grassroots sector, and really just kind of not understanding all of the rules that vary from state to state, county to county, town to town. So why don't you enlighten me?
Yeah, it was new, and it was the unknown. We entered the unknown with all of this stuff because it varied with state to state moving, when it first started. So you would see coming into the spring season after the NBA shut down that some states were doing some things, some weren't. So as a person of in charge of young men and their health and safety, we had to make an executive decision, to kind of not start anything, but Nike kind of shut everything down, which I thought was the best decision when it came to managing the pandemic and trying to navigate through. So as a program, what we did was just try to educate our parents, educate our players, of the new terrain that we're facing with COVID and things of that nature, the measures that we may take. We were going to try to maybe take temperatures, do certain things, but we just felt like it wasn't worth it. And we just shut down the season and helped our kids, our 2021 class, their recruitment. A lot of colleges aren't recruiting just through video. Most of our guys have been fortunate enough to have scholarship offers. So we continue to help them with their recruitment, things of that nature. So we had to turn our playing into educating and just helping our kids with recruiting. We helped them with gathering like a team final media guide. We did a media guide for our players, weaknesses, what schools they go to, some of their career highlights as a personal and as the high school team. We put all their contact information in it. Every college could see where they go to, what level they may can play at, and things of that nature. We also approached it with just social media wise, by getting everything out there with social media. It kind of helped us build our brand on our social media because we did interviews with our players on our team final Instagram, And just to get those avenues out there and those opportunities for those kids. I feel sorry for the guys that's been program guys. You've had kids that had been through our program through the 7th grade. John Kim is going to Memphis next year. Rasul Diggins going to UConn next year. Those guys, I was so excited for those guys to finally to play on that 17U EYBL roster. So I felt so bad for them. So we just tried to do some things to keep those guys positive, help them with their recruiting, their marketing, educating the parents about the NCAA recruiting process. We partner with Honest Game just so we can Honest Game is a company that tracks their academic profile from the 9th grade, puts it in so they know where they are. It helps mentor them. We help mentor them and things of that nature. So we just turn to marketing those kids, educating those kids, and just trying to make them aware of what's going on and just trying to navigate through the pandemic. It was rough because we always had a question, should we do something together? Should we play? Is it worth it? But we just thought their health and safety important than the game of basketball. What did we do positive out of it? In August, what we did was we put together a team final U. We called it team final. It's a team final camp. We called it team final U. We had it at the 76ers practice facility. We invited our players.
When else could you achieve this? Yeah. None other times, probably at the rate, or if there even was one that you might have gotten it at. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yep. It was at the Blue Hens in Delaware, their practice, their facility. So what we did was we invited our guys from the 7th grade on going to the 12th. We took temperatures. No parents were allowed to the last day to pick their kids up. We had a 2-day camp and we took temperatures, made sure everybody filled out waivers. And we tried to make sure we were COVID sensitive, everything without taking the test. We had trainers there. The facility has sports doctors there and all that kind of stuff. So we just had a camp situation. We almost had like a bubble for the kids at the camp just so they can have some sort of experience. And we felt it went great. And that's something that we kind of will bring on to and do it every year because we had speakers come in. We had Honest Game talk to them about their academic tracking. We had people talk about the NCAA recruiting process. And it allowed our younger guys, which are in the 7th grade, to look up to our older guys to say, like, these guys are human just like us, you know what I mean? And so they can have that path and trick, and they interacted with each other. So I thought it went pretty well for us with that piece right there. So. I
have so many takeaways from that. That's pretty awesome. You put up a retreat style format, and when you think about any clubs or groups that young men or women kind of come up in, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, religious groups, there is always that retreat aspect. So to kind of see that brought into basketball, which is a group in itself, is amazing to hear. But the one common theme that I'm seeing is that these are all things that hands down you coaches do not have the time to do. Of course you want to do all of the recruiting guides and the media guides and the social content, but that's usually a fuss over who can help you do it, and probably a budget issue as well on top of time. So to really hear the how you took advantage of the time is something that a lot of coaches can really take away from that.
Yeah, and I also did a lot of what we did as a program. We did a lot of film work, looking at old film, looking at old games, dissecting. We did sessions where we'll teach kids maybe what they did wrong in the game, how to correct habits. We did virtual videos where we workouts. Some of our coaches did virtual workouts. Mm-hmm. Good as well. So we try to educate ourselves as a staff. Usually I'm going to college coaches, college practices, things of that nature, and learn a lot. So what we did was we did a lot of video work. We did a lot of teleconferences, Zoom meetings with coaches and things of that nature. Just as a student of the game, you're always learning. You know what I mean? So we just always try to make sure our craft is getting better and staying staying abreast with the times. So those are the aspects we did as a program too for our coaches, so we could stay just educated, aware with everything that's going on too.
I do have a quick question because my heart is concerned for these student athletes. How has recruiting affected those 9th, 10th, maybe even uncommitted 11th graders being off the court for so long and not being seen? How has there been changes? What's going on there?
Yeah, I feel that's the biggest thing that's going to affect the classes for the next 2 years is the recruitment. Yeah. You know, with the colleges being able to, these seniors being able to have an extra year, a lot of college coaches wanting guys that are game ready, so the transfer portal will be humongous.
I wasn't even thinking about those guys, you know, and
exactly.
all the older guys. I'm sitting here saying, what about the 9, 10? But that's a huge reason why is that there's going to be a backlog. Continue.
Yeah, so it may, honestly, you see a lot of guys where they're going to levels where they probably shouldn't go because of colleges and coaches wanting to win or think they can get this guy or something like that. I look at it as an opportunity for maybe colleges to level off and kids going where they're supposed to be and not step higher, so the portal isn't looking as bad as it is, or there's so many numbers in the portal and stuff like that. But it's going to affect opportunities for a lot of those kids that, you know, because colleges aren't going to give a kid a scholarship on a video. It's just not happening. They want to play against the best, be against the best. How are you coaching? How are your tendencies during the game? How are your tendencies during practice? How are you academically? You know, all of those things come into play, and you can't see those things on a consistent basis. A college coach isn't just going to give a guy an opportunity through a video. I know they trust a lot of things that we say, but it's limited opportunities. It's going to limit opportunities, I think, for the next 2 years, these next 2 classes coming in. But it may level where the kids should be going to school and not, you know, just going to their dream schools or something like that.
Yeah. What's the solution? Is there any solution? Is there any solution in the talks?
I don't know. You know, we're all in question, you know, how long the pandemic is going to be around, how long it's going to continue to affect us. But, you know, we're actually we're on the phones all the time, just trying to figure out what's best for the student athletes and moving forward. I know with technology, the use of technology, we had at our camp, you know, we filmed everything. You know, everything was filmed. It was on, so every college coach could see the atmosphere of the camp. You know what I mean?
That's the type of stuff, right, that we're going to have to look at.
Yeah, so we did that. So it's going to be moving forward. You know, we don't know how it's going to be. We just have to kind of prepare, you know what I mean, to try to see what's the best situation. Is it small group practices? Is it no parents involved in, you know, coming to watch the events? Mm-hmm. Is COVID testing all the players and taking temperatures at an event? Is it doing local events with maybe the same type of teams or something like that until you get to the national championship, which is the Peach Jam? So it's going to be difficult moving forward to see how we navigate through it, but it's until we get back to how basketball is supposed to be. But we're trying to constantly make steps to get this thing going again.
Yeah, absolutely.
With safety, you got to have safety with it.
Mark, do you have any questions?
No, it's good that you're doing that, man. All of the things you're doing with the camp, and it shows that you guys, your program are taking it serious.
Yeah.
You really put in the kids first. I experienced that with Mark right now. You know, he goes to St. Louis. They dropped the game this weekend, and they picked up NC State tomorrow. So I just, you know, I kind of tell him mentally, man, you just have to just look at this as a free year. You get an opportunity to experience college. You get an opportunity a whole year to experience what your head coach wants from you, what he needs from you. And then next year you can come back and still be a freshman, man. And, you know, and you'll have a whole year of experience under your belt. Kind of like it was for us for Prop 48.
Right, exactly.
It was a negative as far as negative on your name, as far as classroom and that goes. But that Pro 48 year really helped me adjust to college, getting to classes on time management, knowing exactly what Coach Chaney wanted from me, how practices were going to go at 5:30 in the morning. So it's going to be a lot of differences. I think you guys are handling it the right way. I really don't think things are going to get back to normal until not this summer, but next summer. I think it'll be back. So I commend you, man, and all of the AAU coaches and programs, man, because it's going to be a difficult summer for you guys. I already see. Talking to the coaches up at St. Louis 2 weekends ago, man, they're like on the phones constantly trying to get games.
Yeah.
Because, in local games, instead of being, okay, we're not traveling to USC, we're going to travel to, in the IUPUI, or we're going to travel to Purdue, right here in Indiana, those type of schools. So I just commend you on what you're doing, man. I think, a lot of people need to follow suit, put the kids first, and also make sure when they do an event, man, that it's safety first. But the recruitment part is going to be tough. It's just sad to see some of those guys that were on the fence.
Yeah.
Really not going to get the looks that they deserve. But like you said, maybe they'll go, maybe some of those lesser schools, like, the Drexels, UPenns, those type of schools.
Binghamton.
Go to Temple. Yeah. It might make this might make the playing level a little bit more even.
Yeah. And they have to look at it as an opportunity to players, and to have a positive out of it. It's the opportunity to go old school. Go work out every day. Go outside on that outside court. You know what I mean? Go do these push-ups, run stadium steps, get your body right. They can study video, but work on, like, we played, we looked at guys, one of these videos, we looked at guys to pattern our games around and things of that nature, then go work on it. These kids have a prime opportunity to go get better. And you'll see after this pandemic who loves it and who likes it. Because the ones that love it, they're going to maximize this time some way and get better. Be better athletes, be better players, be better students. So when they come out, you saw they were working. So this has to be, they have to find a light at the end of this tunnel. These kids have to just work and get better at this moment.
So that same concept helped Mark Hard too. He got to school, he was ready to go because we were doing 3 a days during the pandemic, and most of those guys up there weren't doing nothing.
Yeah. So
he showed up. He was already in shape, which is what you see now. But yeah, that's a good thing, man. I hope a lot of kids are taking advantage of this downtime. Yeah.
So while you laid the blueprint to go old school, that was part of my question. That's the solution for these kids. I want you to be honest as to what you saw maybe at your camp out of these kids after 4 months ish of quarantine. What's the deal out there? How are these kids doing? Is it you know what I mean.
You know what we saw, we were looking for a level of play that may have been a little below what we had, but some of these kids were still working out. They were still on some things, but it was a lot of selfish basketball, and that's understandable because these kids haven't been in a lot of team concepts. So, we preached, just playing unselfishly, but we saw a lot of selfish basketball more often than we would see because the kids just haven't had team opportunities in so long. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we noted, you know what I mean? So we can do something different in August when we do it again. Just to try to make sure we touch on certain things. So one of the things we saw.
Was it sloppier? Was the play a little sloppy?
The play was a little bit
sloppy. With college, and I saw that with NBA in the beginning. Remember when they started in the bubble, it was a little bit sloppy. Was that the same?
A little bit sloppier, and then we mixed our 7th graders all the way up with our, rising 12th graders, and because it gives them that opportunity to play. Yeah. So, it was a little bit sloppy play early, but when it got to the championship rounds, it cleaned up some the second day because kids, regardless of whatever, they do want to win something. You know what I mean? So they did compete, which was good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then
So
seeing those guys talk to each other and just be around, you sit up and look in the corner and watch those guys that haven't been around each other just communicate, laugh, and giggle. You know what I mean? It just brought a good time to them. So it was good.
at the end of the day, you gotta commend them whether they're wearing a mask or not. I mean, they're out there working during one of the hardest times, you know, in the world right now. So, but yeah, to practice in a mask, to travel with one, it's not easy. So I definitely give it up to these kids, and I hope they keep up the good work and aren't, you know, can move forward after this. Yeah, I mean, but go Binghamton, Drexel, Temple, you know, 8-10, America East. Those are some power conferences. And hopefully maybe there's, even if that is local, they can get those local looks, you know.
Yeah.
Iona can drive out, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, that's all I got. I think it was a really good discussion. I learned a lot. I can't believe it. And I'm really happy to hear that you had all that time to you know, do all the good things for the players. I know that it's not a high priority for you when you have, you know, 5 different tournaments in 5 different states in 3 months. So
yeah, so we did a good job with them. So
very good job. You're looking at more of what coaches should be. Coaches are more than just coaches. You know, you're teaching these kids how to be men. You're teaching these kids how to deal with adverse situations in life. So it's not just, you know, hey, you're not just a guy that they see. You're not taking it like, I'm just their coach. I'm just teaching basketball. Like you're going a little bit further. Grades, behavior. You know, I like that part about it, man. A lot of coaches don't look at it that way. They just look at it as basketball. That's not what a coach is. A coach is more than just somebody that's going to put you in the game. I like that you're taking it serious like that.
Yeah, we really take pride in our program, man. Like having all our guys eligible, having the parents and the players knowledge of the process once their clock starts ticking. So understand the whole process. It's not just about basketball, and then just having them relationships, man. We usually practice with our 9th, 10th, and 11th graders, and they more every day. So once you're a freshman, you see how those 11th, those 10th graders and those 11th graders compete just to keep the program going. Parents, you know, interact to have a good time and things of that nature. You know, it was hard because we didn't have that camaraderie during the COVID, but we did keep in touch with all our parents. We do talk to them. We do help them with everything, and we're a phone call away when it comes to any question they may have. But a lot of them, man, we educate them, and a lot of them so educated with the whole process, man. It's just little things they may ask about and tweak and stuff. So
good, man. Good.